trained in counterterrorism to take down government threats. Nick Green now faces the most treacherous assignment of all. High school.
How far in do we get to this like inception of like your character and like his training? Like he's one of these 64 kind of teenage assassins. So how far do we get into that kind of level of this show?
We get pretty far into it. You know, we talk a lot about the different operatives that are around, and we really kind of focus on Nick Green in this first series, and kind of the life he's kind of got for himself, and the beautiful girl who just won't acknowledge his presence. Why? Break my heart. Break my heart, babe.
She's a heartbreaker, you know.
Heartbreaker. Love taker. Look at that. They write songs about girls like you.
Do they?
Yeah. Heartbreakers.
So, like, can you talk about like how you fit in? Like, you have a very protective boyfriend, I understand as well. So, how does that kind of play in with Nick here?
Yeah, there's kind of a little sort of love triangle situation going on. Amanda, she's with this one guy who's on the swim team, and there's that whole thing who doesn't really get her, and then there's Nick who's like sympathetic and she likes and is funny and charming and handsome, and so it's kind of a little love triangle going on.
Nice. So I see. I understand that Rebecca Mader, you have a little interesting relationship with her.
I do. Yes.
In this, so I mean you can't really complain about that. I can imagine.
It was hard to turn down the advances in the script. You know, it was one of those things. No, it was funny. I mean, it was one of those things. Like I was just thinking about the other day. It's like I've never had a hot for teacher moment. I've never had a hot teacher growing up. No offense to all my teachers. I don't. You're very beautiful in your own way. But no, I've never had a hot for teacher moment. But like then I got to kind of live out that fantasy a little bit. So that's honestly the only reason I did the show.
For that one scene with Rebecca Mader.
Just that one scene with Rebecca Mader. I was like, yes. Who's going to play the teacher? I'm in. Where do I sign? I'll work for peanuts.
So are you guys like really looking forward? Like I was really curious about the whole social media aspect of this, and it really seems like a really cool way to kind of promote the show and kind of help bring fans into the show. So you're looking forward to seeing how the fans really respond to this in this new kind of platform.
Oh, definitely. It's always interesting, you know. Like one of the reasons I think the show was exciting to me as a producer and as an actor was the idea that we got to go and explore new territory. And with Facebook and Cameo, it's like we're literally doing something no one's ever done before. And with the integration of you can personalize your own viewing experience. That's fun, you know. It's a whole new world out there, and it's on the internet.
It's on the internet, and technology has become such a huge part of everyone's life these days. I'm really curious to see how my friends are actually going to feel about it, like seeing their photos come up and stuff like that. I just think it's kind of a fascinating thing, and the way we're going with technology.
So like besides Rebecca, it seems like there's a lot of pretty solid guest stars as well that kind of pop up throughout this show. So like, who else can we kind of expect to see, and who are you trying to lobby for anyone for season 2 comes
for
around?
season 2? Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I mean, there's so many people you really would love to have. There is a kind of a little wink and moment with talking about the Department of Education pilot program, which is DEP. Like Johnny Depp, like the 21 Jump Street. It's kind of a nod to that. So if we could get Johnny Depp to do like a quick guest star, maybe play like the head of the organization, that'd be funny as hell. So hey Johnny, what's up? What are you doing next year? So.
You might have a minute to spare.
Yeah, I mean you finished the Rum Diary, right? Yeah, let's come hang out. Yeah.
So I mean, what do you can you talk about working with you have Thor Fernandes directing as well, and McG producing? Does this did this feel like this is such a big kind of a thing, especially for a web series? But did it feel like another kind of a regular show, like a TV show, as opposed to like a web series, a show that's airing on the web?
Well, I think we both worked in TV, and I think we shot all of everything for Aim High in 8 days. So That's a little unprecedented.
Yeah, it definitely didn't feel like it. Was honestly just felt like it was just fun. It was just shooting. We were kind of doing a ton of pages a day, and it was very free flowing, like a super creative environment. I felt like on set it wasn't very structured. Like TV's very structured sometimes.
Yeah.
It was really free flowing and kind of almost like an indie art house kind of student film kind of feel to it. There was just fun, and everyone was getting involved. I had a good time.
It's nice too because we decided to very early on in pre-production to shoot with a 5 and 7D so we could have more of a run gun kind of shoot from the hip approach to the show, which really showcases very very well. And our DP just did a fantastic job of kind of setting up the shots. So you can't really tell. I mean, the quality of the show looks like you'd see it on the CW or like any network that's on air right now. And we shot it all in 8 days on these little tiny cameras like this big. I mean, the lenses were bigger than the cameras.
Yeah, the lenses were a lot bigger than the cameras. The cameras, like literally when they pulled them out, I was like, you can go buy that at like Best Buy. Like that's what we're shooting on. Okay.
She almost quit then. She was like,
Done.
I was actually like, no, don't worry. No, those aren't the cameras we're using. And I pulled out my iPhone. They're like, we're just going to use this. Just going to make it all on this iPhone. Actually, Chadwick Park, he directed a movie where it's all on iPhone 4.
Yes.
Wow.
It's a crazy new age.
That's true.
Crazy new age. And they actually make lenses for the iPhone now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which
Absolutely.
is insane.
I read that you did a lot of most of your own stunts as well. So like, can you talk about how like physical this show gets, and were there any kind of any injuries in this little short production?
I think I escaped this one without getting a black eye or a bloody lip for the first time in like forever since I've been doing stunts now in films. And it was a great time. I brought my stunt team in, Real Kicks, and they're just an amazing group. I met them on The Last Airbender, and I brought them onto the Twilight films because like the guys are just incredible. They're amazing at what they do. They're always really safe and smart, and they made it really really fun. And there's a scene where we're in a garage, and I have a knife fight with a big Russian dude. And I think I think he forgot the choreography a little bit, but it was cool because my whole job was just avoid knife. So, and I do that really well. It's like when something is gonna try and hurt me, I'm like, no, let's not let that happen. You know, I already had a broken heart from, you know, I don't want to point any fingers, so I use my thumbs. This girl. But you know, it's like, you know, I had to escape the getting cut by a knife.
So are there other like any other romantic possibilities for you as well, or is it just your focus just pretty much on her and how I mean, are there other people kind of in play as well that you're looking for, or is it pretty much just tractor beam right on her?
Well, I think there's some nice bromance moments between Nick and Marcus. There's
There's some really really cute, adorable romance moments.
It's great. I mean, there's even a little Brahma.
Brahma.
That works. So, what are you guys looking forward to? I'm assuming you guys are kind of looking forward to season 2, like after this first run airs. So, are there things that you're kind of looking forward to exploring during a second run of this?
Yeah, I think, you know, hopefully there's we can get together the old team and kind of get back and shoot like another season for Aim High. But I think we really want to kind of go more even into the darker side of it and kind of a little bit more dark with the humor, darker with even the action itself. And one of the things that we, you know, kind of the way season 1 ends, we want to keep that going. We don't want to have one of those shows where it's just and then the slate's wiped clean, and it's all back to the same story. Yeah. And we want to progress the show and have it change, and you know, add new elements constantly. We've been talking about different ideas that we could utilize in order to, like our personalization process. If we can actually take that a step further and even go more into getting people involved in the show. So that's one thing that we're working on, and we're gonna figure it out.
Nice. You talk about like integrated like storylines and like things like that, like with fans kind of chipping in like story ideas. Is that?
It's all across the board. I mean, right now we're really just excited about, you know, having people in, like being able to see themselves in the show and kind of like have their music and their photos and their friends in the show. And the next step is we're still kind of figuring it out, but we got some really interesting ideas that we've been batting around, and we just got to talk to the scientists and figure if it's all doable. Because I know what an algorithm is, I just don't know how to make it. It's like,
why not? Why you don't really?
I didn't pay attention in school. In computer class, I was playing video games. It's true. Just Centipede. I would just do the Centipede game. Yeah, and then whenever the teacher would come by, I'd flip over to the other screen, and then he'd walk away, and I'd flip back to Centipede, and I died, and it was always really sad.
Oh, Centipede.
Poor Centipede.
Aim high.
This should be a fun year.